in a list of things that I thought I would never say in my life, I love Magic the Gathering. And I'm as shocked as you guys are. If you are someone who actually knows me, um, that's not a side of the nerdy fandom that I ever thought I would be on. But Final Fantasy kickstarted me into a journey into Magic the Gathering, so much so that I'm not only playing it, I not only have aspirations to compete competitively, I've created an entire documentary series surrounded by my journey of Magic the Gathering that's on my YouTube channel now called Untapped Potential. Shameless plug, right? But what has really kind of piqued my interest and has really like set my fandom like ablaze is this Magic the Gathering PlayStation collab with Secret Lair. So I am a huge PlayStation guy. Even though I own an Xbox and I own a Nintendo Switch, when you're talking about the exclusive games, like PlayStation is it. So you're talking about God of War, Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, um, The Last of Us. These are some of the most iconic games of all time, and the fact that they're all PlayStation games like makes it all the better. There is a little fly flying around here. You saw it just on my microphone, so excuse me for being distracted for a second. Back to the PlayStation collab. So MagicCon is happening as we speak, as I'm recording this episode. Is happening in Atlanta, and a ton of news dropped, and I'm excited to be able to talk about it today. So with the PlayStation collab, I just want to say this. Although we don't know a whole lot about it, there has been some more news that have come out about some of the cards and what they do and the functionality of them. I'm just going to say this. That a lot of people are against the Universes Beyond. And if you don't know what that is, Universes Beyond is Magic the Gathering's collab with things that are outside of the world of Magic the Gathering. So Final Fantasy, for example, is a Universes Beyond. And Final Fantasy is what brought me into playing Magic. And there's a lot of people who are against the Universes Beyond because they don't feel like it's real Magic. And I think that's silly, to be honest. I think anything to bring people into the game and to play more, I think is always a good thing. But I don't think I would have ever gotten interested in Magic the Gathering had Final Fantasy not been a collab. Like, it just wasn't something that was on my radar, but I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. This collab with Secret Lair, although it's not going to be a complete set, it's only a few cards. The Aloy set from Horizon Zero Dawn, that would have got me into Magic the Gathering. I'm ridiculously excited for this collab, but specifically that card. Now, if you have ever played Horizon Zero Dawn and you know how Magic the Gathering is played, I think that out of all these that we're getting with the Secret Lair drop, I think that Horizon Zero Dawn is the one that sets up the best to be able to be able to be a part of Magic the Gathering's universe. Like, I think it sets up the best out of all these franchises to really kind of get deep into that lore of what Magic the Gathering is. And so as they continue these Universes Beyond collabs, and I think that they will because they're very lucrative for Wizards of the Coast who makes Magic, I think that we hopefully, fingers crossed, will eventually get a Horizon Zero Dawn because Aloy is my favorite video game character of all time. And I think like it is amazing world that they've built within Horizon, and as they go ahead and hopefully one day we get part 3 of this amazing series, I think it's only going to extend the lore and the mythos of Aloy and her world, and I could see it down the line really being something that Magic the Gathering kind of sinks their teeth in. So also coming out of Atlanta, more Final Fantasy cards and with that collab, which I'm really excited for. So you can see right here behind me, which is the scenescape for the Spider-Man collab. Actually, I'll grab it right here so that you can see. Now, I have the art cards in here, but these are actual cards that you can play within the world of Magic the Gathering, and I got that scenescape because I love the artwork behind it. I think it looks amazing. They're making those for Final Fantasy, and although I'm excited about some of the other cards, like especially the Cloud card that's going to have the artwork from the pixelated Final Fantasy VII game. I'm excited for the scenescape, and specifically for Final Fantasy VIII, because I think that's the game that is maybe the most underrated Final Fantasy game. It's a great game, and Squall, and then the whole world there, and the way that game played out. I understand that there were faults with it, and that people didn't like the junction system of the game and things like that took them out of the gameplay. But Final Fantasy VIII is an amazing game, and so I'm excited about being able to pick up that set, and I'm just excited to be able to spend more time in the world of Final Fantasy, and Magic the Gathering. And so I think that this is only going to be a good thing. So I'm super excited for that. But then we got kind of a release calendar for some of the sets coming up in 2026. And I want to be able to go over those real quick and give you my initial thoughts. So Lorwyn Eclipsed is a universe that was already within Magic the Gathering that they're going to expand on. That's not for me. I'm sure I'll pick up something from it, but I'm excited for that one because I think it'll get Scarlet really into the gameplay. There's an unannounced Universes Beyond collab coming out early next year, and there's been a lot of speculation on what that could be. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and holding on that I hope it's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because I think that would be really cool within the world of Magic the Gathering. And then there's something called Secrets of Strixhaven. Don't know what that is, but it looks cool. But then right up my fandom, Marvel Superheroes. And if you watch the panel out of MagicCon, one of the things that they talked about were these characters were designed from the comics, not from the MCU, which I'm really excited for that, because one of the things I love most about Magic is the artwork and the art style behind the cards. So I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with in the world of Marvel Comics. And I'm really excited for Squirrel Girl. And I didn't think I would ever say that. But they dropped that she'll be a part of the set. And I think that's super cool. There's also The Hobbit coming. And I know there was a Lord of the Rings collab. I own a few cards, but that's really honestly not for me. But I'm excited for the people who are excited. And then you also have a set called Reality Fracture. Don't know what that is. They didn't give much information about it. But, hopefully it ends up being good. But the one that has been rumored for a while that I'm honestly more excited about than I thought I would be is Star Trek. Now, they talked about how this was going to be all generations of Star Trek. It's going to be everything from Captain Kirk on. And then, I think you're... Not that you have to, but I think that's the smart way to go, right? Like, Final Fantasy was all the Final Fantasy games. I think with this, you're only going to be able to open up that world more. But what I'm really excited about for this Star Trek collab is that I think that Star Trek is a franchise that is literally dying. And I think that's because the fans of the show are literally dying. Like, it's an old show with an old fandom. And although I know there's new Star Trek stuff out, the fact of the matter is the Star Trek movies that have come out recently with Chris Pine, although I loved all of them, they weren't super hits, right? And we've been waiting on a fourth one for a while, and there's been talk about maybe Chris Hemsworth, a prequel, because he was, before he was Thor, he was Captain Kirk's dad in that first Star Trek movie. So I would love to see what they do with Star Trek and their collab. But I'm hoping this brings new fans back to it. Because although I do love Star Wars, I love Star Wars. I grew up in a Star Trek household. My older brother was a huge fan of Star Trek. And even my dad loves Star Trek as well. And so, yeah, I think that there's a lot of potential here with those collabs. But what did you think? Did you get to see anything come out of MagicCon? I'm excited to be able to go to the one next year, which is going to be in Vegas. I mean, there's several throughout the year, but the one we're going to is the one in Vegas. And I'm really excited because it looks like they're going to really hit home on the Marvel Superheroes collab. And again, that's kind of right up my alley in the world of fandom. But I want to know, what stuck out to you? Did you like any of the new collabs coming? And what do you think of the Secret Lair PlayStation collab? Let me know in the comments.